And poured it down the sink, and I'm looking back and thinking, actually, it probably wasn't. It was just that our palate had no sense of what an old Chablis would taste like.
And that's
all those cobwebs and
that's the real hard part about wine. But it's still your palate, and you guys still thought it was off, and so and if you don't enjoy it, there's no point drinking it. But also, the old world make wine in a very different way, and we've got used to a bit of sweetness in our wine.
Yeah, we have.
And they tend to ferment everything dry.
Yeah.
And so as soon as it gets a bit dry and minerally, we tend to think there's something wrong with it, or we don't like it.
This is good.
Yeah. But you're influenced by the price, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm influenced by the price on behalf of the vast majority of people for whom $80 is such a lot of money.
It's a huge amount.
It's a huge sum of money on one bottle of wine. And so I passionately sort of subscribe to the theory that you should taste. You know, sometimes you've had this experience, and I bet most people watching have this experience, where you taste a wine and it is so wonderfully good, you smile, you actually have the physiological reaction of breaking into a grin, because you think, wow. And I'm intellectually appreciating this, and I'm thinking, yeah, good for you. But
I really like the wine.
Do you?
Yeah. But it is half of someone's power bill.
Yeah, it is. And I'm maybe being a bit exacting.
I would still rate that. I'd probably give it 92 points.
Right.
The same.
Yeah.
But I'd probably give this kind of, if you take the price out of it, and let there be a kind of level playing field, and just say the quality of the wine, 88 points.
Yeah.
Then you got 92. I think it's a much better wine.
Yeah. The other thing is, I'm swayed by my great affection for Craigie Range, because I think everything they do well. Their Chardonnay is beautiful. Their Sauvignon, they do a Martinborough Sauvignon, don't they? Which is fantastic. Their Syrah, whichever price level you're entering the market at, is just superb value for money. And I just sort of think, as a general rule of thumb, you can't really go wrong with Craigie Range, can you?
That's a good endorsement. I love that.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. That's not intended as an endorsement. It was just a personal comment.
Yeah, but you're right. They make very, very good wine. Yeah, sometimes a bit too clean and a bit
intellectual rather than visceral and passionate.
Let's move on to the next one.
I just need
I do appreciate
these are the personal opinions of John Campbell of Grey Lynn and not of TV3. Oh, for God's sake! Oh, bloody hell! So what are we drinking now?
Now this is Two Rivers, and it's made in Marlborough, and it's Dave. Dave's a winemaker, and is Marlborough, and they make an exceptional Sauvignon Blanc.
And this is the 08, like that one.
And because they haven't released the Craigie 08.
I don't want you to tell me the price here, because I think that buggered me up the last time. It was my fault. I asked. I shouldn't have. Ignorance is bliss. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason.
So Dave Clouston's the winemaker, and he makes a few wines down there. And Marlborough for me is the most underrated region for Pinot Noir.
Yeah, well,
it gets a bit of a hammering, and it's synonymous with Sauvignon Blanc, and so you're on a hiding to nothing.
So he makes a good. So cloudy based Pinot's good.
Yeah.
Wither Hills, they make a good. Is that a Marlborough Pinot, isn't it?
That's a Marlborough, yeah.
That's good. For me, the Villa Maria Black Label Marlborough is one of my all-time favourite New Zealand wines. You know what one is that? It's about $55.
Is it the Seddon? Is it the Seddon?
Don't know.
I've tasted one recently, and it was
fantastic.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Yeah.
Who else makes a good Pinot in Marlborough?
Fiasco Wines.
Herzog.
Although, I mean, Herzog are a fairly small operation, beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
But they grow a phenomenal amount of varietals on a small plot.
Yeah, they do.
And I worry about that.
Yeah.
And they command such high prices.
Yeah, they do.
So
I haven't had a Pinot for 2 or 3 years actually. The last time I had it, it had all that barnyard, dirty, leathery stuff that I really like.
European winemakers.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. But I mean, who can afford Herzog anymore? Gosh, they've had 3 very different noses, haven't they? This is really different again. Amazes me that the same grape is capable of such.
Same grape, different winemaker, different place.
Yeah.
And
different climate, different soil.
Yeah, and they've just discovered, or fairly recently, but they've been working on it a long time, that you can actually fingerprint wine, and you can get it to within 2 kilometres of where it came from. So it helps with all the fraud and stuff like that that's going on in the wine industry right now. So if you can...
You're joking. So,
no.
Wow.
So you can now, I mean, it dispels the old American Australian thing that terroir doesn't exist. And it really brings that back, that all of the climate, the soil and everything contributes.
It really does matter.
Yeah. And so that's why you get such a varied style of wine with the same grape.
I'm quite impressed by that. It's not shouting at us, is it? Certainly the nose is a little bit... The nose is a little bit...
It's a lot more subtle.
Yeah, gregarious, but the
even on the palate, it's a lot more subtle.
Right, how much is this? My guess is that this is late 30s?
Early 30s.
Early 30s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good buying at that. Oh, I'm enjoying this.
I think this really needs food.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you spend $80 on that, you've got not much money to spend on food.
Or you've got so much money you can afford to eat whatever you like.
This kind of sits in the middle for me, and this you can drink by itself.
Yeah. In fact, that would be a lovely pre-dinner wine, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Have you ever served a young, cheapish Pinot slightly chilled? Would you ever serve that slightly chilled?
Yeah,
ever so slightly.
Yeah, in the summer. I mean, we get pretty humid, humid days. So what I do, because we also serve at room temperature goes up in summer.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So if you bring it back to room temperature, the average room temperature between 19 and 21,
right.
which means sticking it in the fridge for half an hour. Just take that edge off.
I think that would be delicious with. And it would slightly compress the high notes, wouldn't it? It would just shut it down a bit.
Yeah, and I would recommend that.
Hurrah!
Spot on.
Bloody good. Well, you wouldn't do it. I think you'd be. I think if you did it to that one, you'd be a bit naughty.
Yeah, I think that you'd probably get a letter from Craigie Range.
A trespass order. Do not drink our wines again.
It's our wine until it's consumed.
What a nice job you got, Jason. You enjoying it?
Oh yeah, I think it's great. Especially being able to, for me, it's sharing. My passion,
which you've done very generously today. Thank you.
And my passion with, we get quite a few viewers now, which is quite nice, and also it's almost, we get a lot of American viewers.
Do you?
Yeah. Because everybody's interested in New Zealand wine. Because it commands such a premium.
In case Americans are watching, if you put this up against, say, an Oregon Pinot, which...
It would rate really highly.
The Craigie I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah. And the Two Rivers.
Would they?
Yep.
Would it?
Yep.
And Oregon costs money, doesn't it?
Yeah. It costs a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah. But actually, the entry level probably starts around kind of, for us to get it over here, probably about $50.
New Zealand or US?
New Zealand.
And that's what, the equivalent of that, or is it better? It's better than that?
No, it's the equivalent of that.
Right, okay.
And then it goes up.
Right. Are there any really, have you tasted any American ones where you've thought to yourself, oh, I'm in the presence of good company here? Have you had any of that?
Not Pinot.
Oh.
But there's, Sean Thackeray makes this wine called Pleiades.
Yeah, what's that?
And it's a mongrel.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just the most interesting wine out of America. And it's $20 US.
And are you selling that?
No.
Right.
It's so difficult to get hold of.
Well, if it's only $20 US, I can well imagine.
Yeah.
That's good.
The US is with the film and the media that they really killed kind of Merlots and
was that sideways?
Yeah.
Shit.
And it just shows you the power of media. So for us, we now get much better value for money out of those grapes, the Merlots, the Cabernets, the Malbecs.
Yeah.
Because they're harder to sell. So you get, even though you've got people who are passionate at making them, you get much better value for money because they have to sell them cheaper.
Okay.
As well as kind of an entry-level Pinot. Comes in at kind of like $20.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I'm really pleasantly surprised that that's $20.
Yeah.
What about white wines? Where's the value in whites? It's still Savvy, obviously.
Savvy now, and I think the interesting thing is once you move away from Marlborough, there are.